Okay, so Irene is topping the field beans. So this is a field bean that you usually use as a green manure. The idea is to remove the tops. These are really good in salads. You can make a soup, you can make pesto with it. Really nice food. And the reason for doing this is that removing the apical shoot removes the production of auxin, which is a hormone that stops all the other shoots and buds from waking up and growing. And essentially now all the buds which are dormant around the leaf stalks will start shooting. Actually in broad beans usually they start from the bottom rather than from the top. And they start competing to become the apical shoot. So this makes a lot more biomass than you'd have otherwise. So it stimulates biomass production. Also it stimulates the roots of the plant because it sends down a lot of carbohydrates and the plant fixes more nitrogen, and this obviously gives a benefit to all the neighboring plants, including this plum tree and all the other fruits around here. We've just eaten a nice strawberry from this bed. So here you see the nitrogen fixation happening, these small nodules which should be red inside. Now it's going to be very difficult to show on video because I've got one hand free, but you can trust me, they're kind of reddish inside. And this is this hemoglobin like substance, you can see the strawberries there, which transports oxygen around the plant. In particular in this case it's transporting it to the nodules full of rhizobia bacteria, and they can fix the atmospheric nitrogen and to NO3 and other forms of nitrogen. So the plant can then share a bit with the neighbors, especially if you cut it before flowering, and also it can use and at this stage here the plant is flowering. So if you leave the flowers on, these will be developing into seed pods, and then the nitrogen from the nodules gets used. You don't want that because this plant is there to support the others. So we're going to top it up, remove it, and after pinching off the top, now the plant doesn't go to flower straight away, produces more leaves, produces more nitrogen at the bottom, and so we're happy. So if you have a green manure of field beans, make sure you do this if you have time to go over it. Now here we are in between trees and fruits, so it's very difficult to do it with a machine. We have to do it by hand. But if you had a bed full of just field beans, you could go with a topper, you could go with a hedge trimmer and remove all the tops in one single pass. And then after they bush out, you can then later on go with a mower and remove the whole lot. Now here we'll have to do everything by hand because they're in between. It would have been wiser to plant them really on the outside of this bed, so you could have used a machine, but that's fine. We wanted to cover the middle section as well. All of the stuff we're removing becomes nice mulch, biomass, nitrogen rich, carbon rich.